Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a fantastic story all about good intentions, a grumpy little sand fairy, and some very, very hungry kids. It's called A Castle and No Dinner, and believe me, it is a perfect example of what happens when a wish goes completely off the rails.
So let's be real for a second. Have you ever had one of those brilliant ideas that just completely and utterly backfired? I think we've all been there. But the kids in our story today, they take it to a whole new level, turning a simple wish into, well, a full-blown medieval crisis.
All right, so our story gets started with most of the kids stuck indoors. They're being punished for some earlier magical shenanigans. It's a gorgeous day outside, and as you can imagine, they are not happy about it.
You know, even the housemaid Martha feels a little sorry for them. She thinks it's a real shame to keep them cooped up. But while the others are stuck inside, one of them, a boy named Robert, gets a special half-hour of freedom to go on a really important quest.
His mission seems simple enough. Go find the Psalmiad, this cranky magical sand fairy, and get the daily wish for himself and his siblings. The only problem, the second he actually finds the creature, all those clever ideas he had just poof, they're gone. His mind is a total blank.
And this is the moment where everything goes sideways. Out of pure frustration, feeling the pressure, Robert makes a wish that sounds helpful, but in reality, it's an absolute recipe for disaster.
He just blurts it out. I wish you could give one of the others their wish without their having to come here to ask for it. I mean, it sounds pretty considerate, doesn't it? But when the Psalmiad grants this surprisingly difficult wish, it kicks off a dangerous magical chain reaction.
Okay, so let's break down this domino effect. Step 1, Robert's wish works. His siblings back at the house now have the power to wish. Step 2, the Psalmiad can grant that wish from far away. And step 3, this is the really critical part, the kids with no adult supervision immediately wish for something gigantic without thinking it through at all. Robert accidentally removed the one and only safety check they had.
So Robert starts sprinting home, terrified they might have wished for something ridiculous like a mountain of candy. But what he finds, it's way beyond ridiculous. His house is just gone.
He comes around the corner, expecting to see their regular old house, but instead, he just freezes. Because right where his house should be stands something else entirely. Something enormous. Something medieval.
Oh yeah, they wished for a castle, and they got a castle. We're talking battlements, lancet windows, 8 huge towers, even a moat. It's incredible. But the Psalmiad's magic, it has a bit of a twisted sense of humor. The wish came with a little bonus they didn't ask for. A full-on army laying siege to them right where the garden used to be.
Before Robert can even begin to process any of this, bam, he's captured. And the soldiers who grab him, well, they talk like they've walked straight out of the pages of some cheap historical novel.
Get this, they call him a varlet. It's an old-fashioned word for a servant, or kind of a mild insult like rascal. And this right here is our first huge clue that the magic didn't just create a castle, it created the idea of a castle, straight from a storybook.
And what follows is just a complete communication meltdown. The knight, Sir Wulfric, asks all formally, "Whence comest thou, and what is thine intent?" And Robert's totally baffled response, "My what?" It's a medieval hero trying to talk to a modern-day kid, and it is not going well.
So in a moment of pure desperation, Robert tries to explain what's going on. He literally tells the knight that he isn't even real. And, as you can probably guess, telling a man with a very real sword that he's just part of a magic spell, that doesn't exactly earn you any points.
Eventually, Robert manages to use the Psalmiad to wish himself safely inside the castle walls with his siblings. But he quickly realizes the army outside is no longer their biggest problem. Something much, much stranger is happening inside.
One of the sisters, Jane, says it best. I feel as if I was in a mad asylum. They find the cook and the housemaid, Martha, in the courtyard, just going about their daily chores. Ironing, cooking, but they're doing it with absolutely nothing. They are miming everything with completely invisible tools.
So what on earth is going on here? Why are the servants acting like they're still in their normal house when they're standing in the middle of a medieval fortress? Well, the answer goes back to an earlier wish the kids made, and it creates this amazing magical paradox.
Okay, here's the key. A previous wish had a rule, the servants should never notice any of the magic. So what that's done is it's created 2 separate realities in the exact same physical space. For the kids, they're in a castle. For the servants, they're in the regular old house. The two worlds are overlapping, but neither side can see the other's reality.
And this weird situation leads to maybe the most absurd scene in the whole book. The children are sitting in this massive, grand banqueting hall, watching Martha walk in and serve a completely invisible dinner onto a table that, from their perspective, is totally bare. They got their dream castle, but they have absolutely no food.
So where does all this chaos leave us? Well, this whole crazy adventure really builds to a very clear and, honestly, a very funny lesson.
After all that magic, all the excitement, the siege, the knights, it all comes down to this number, 0. That's how many visible, edible meals they have in their magnificent new home. Their epic wish left them with nothing to solve their most basic problem. They're hungry.
I mean, look at all the hidden costs they never thought about. A very real, very hostile army outside. No soldiers or supplies inside to defend the place. And a crazy magical paradox that makes their own dinner totally impossible to get. They wished for the romantic picture in a storybook, and they forgot all about the practical reality.
And that really leaves us with a great question to think about. When you're dreaming up something big, what's the invisible dinner, that crucial practical detail that you might be forgetting? It's a perfect reminder that every grand vision comes with consequences. A lesson this magical adventure makes hilariously and painfully clear.